Hi, my name is Sebastian, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist in Fort Lauderdale. The business is called Hypnosis on Las Olas. Basically, what I want to share with you today is what hypnosis is and why it might help you today. The process of hypnosis, for me, is about putting aside the physical body and the physical brain, the deductive and the inductive thinking, and allowing for the Christ or the Atman or whatever you call the spiritual self within you to be an observer of who you are and what you're doing. In that space, all change can happen. In that change is where you become the steerer of your ship. Most people feel when they come into this office that they are out of control. Their brain is cluttered. They don't feel like they have control of what's going on in their life and or in their brain. My job is to get the body and their mind balanced. The word yoga means balance. We want to connect with the universal force that allows us to be in the very present moment and at peace. And to do that, we have to be out of the part of our mind that is functioning quickly, that is pushing forward. That is the sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is the part of the mind and the body that allows us to relax. To get to that part, to the parasympathetic system, we need to be able to do a couple things. We need to reset the parasympathetic nervous system, and sometimes that takes, you've heard of people going into like cold water or a cold chamber. For me, there's an easier way to do it. What I do is I put my arm on my head like this. I put my hand under my rib cage and I twist and look behind me until I'm frustrated enough, trying to imagine that, keeping my eyes wide open and trying to imagine that there's something behind me that I can't see. And you can stay there for like 45 or 50 seconds, and you'll notice that eventually your body goes, it just, you want to frustrate yourself enough that your body takes this deep inhale. And then after you exhale, what you want to try to do is you want to take the entire ear cuff and roll it forward 5 times and backward 5 times. What I do is I put my finger right here in this hard part of the ear, thumb behind the earlobe, and I take the entire ear and I roll it forward 5 times and backward 5 times. Then also, you can pinch your earlobes and just pull down. Now, don't take your ears off. I'm not asking you to like grab and like pull down on your whole ear. You're just pinching and pressing off like that 5 times. Then the last exercise is actually probably the most important exercise to learn. What I want you to do is I want you to take a deep breath in through the mouth and make a sound. Now the goal is to breathe in through the nose with the lips closed, making a similar sound. What you can do is you could start with your mouth open, close it, and then think about making that same sound. To me, it's like a loud breath. If you've ever watched Star Wars, there is that sound that Darth Vader makes. It's kind of like that sound. And that breathing in yoga, which means balance, is what's called ujjayi, or victorious breath. Now we want to use that breathing style, the voiced, where you're hearing your breath going in and hearing your breath going out. So what it does is it allows you to be very aware or very conscious of your breathing, of the breath that enlivens you, that sustains you. Yogis believe that if you get in touch with that breath, that which keeps you alive, then you're also in touch with your spiritual self. It makes a lot of sense. When a baby's first born, the first thing they do is breathe. The last thing a person does when he or she dies is exhales. So the breath itself is something that we want to understand or to get more in tune with. This exercise that helps the parasympathetic nervous system is breathing in 5 counts through the nose with that ujjayi sound. Then you hold your nose and drop your chin to your chest. And you hold your breath for 5 counts. Then as you exhale through your nose, you do that for 5 counts. So it's 5, 5, and 5. Breathing in 5 counts through the nose, making a sound. Hold your nose and drop your chin to your chest, keeping your head and your heart on the same plane for 5 counts, holding the breath. Then exhaling, lifting your head back up for 5 counts. You do that 10 times. What I like to do and what I like to teach my clients is when they're holding their breath, to let go of a part of your body. Every time you hold your breath, let go of your neck, let go of your shoulders, let go of your eyes, let go of your jaw, let go of your legs, your hands. You have 10 times to do that. Then at the very end, like 8, 9, and 10, just as you're holding your breath, think about the emptiness in your brain. Think about listening to what's going on in your brain, and what you'll notice is that there's nothing there. Now this nothing and the emptiness, or the stopping of the body's breath at the same time, is our greatest space at figuring out what peace is. When you're not breathing, when the body is completely released, and you want to do this exercise, of course, on a couch or someplace comfortable so that you feel like you can let go. You don't want to do it standing up. And always make sure that you don't need your attention. Like, don't be doing it while you're driving. Anyway, so after you're finished with those 10 breaths, you'll notice that your body is just like completely in tune with itself. And the next thing in hypnosis we would do would be closing your eyes, and then I would try to imagine that the breath is going right through the pineal gland. As you're breathing in, think about the breath going through here and then going down through your body, and all of the light pushing anything negative, any habit, any negative thing, down to the bottom of your feet and out through the bottom of your feet. I like to think of a large round magnet there holding that which you're getting rid of. Then once you do that a few times and get rid of all the things that are negative in your body, the next thing I would do is I would stop thinking about my eyes functioning and allowing my mind to begin to imagine energy going to here. See, what happens when we close our eyes is we still think we're looking with our eyes outward. We see what we imagine forward. But objectively, if you close your eyes, you should be able to imagine seeing behind you. You should be imagine seeing next to you, above you, below you. So the thought is, the brain doesn't have to look forward with your eyes. And once you start to feel the energy of life, the energy of your brain moving toward the frontal cortex of the brain, you'll notice that your body can dream easily. You can imagine things. That's the next thing you want to do. Start imagining things, because when you hear a voice in your brain, that's exactly opposite of meditation. A voice in your brain is basically clutter. It is, let's say, your subconscious trying to get your attention. Kind of like if you were going to a koi fish pond and you had food, and all the koi were gathering around you, and they were waiting for you to drop the food in the water, and then you drop just a little bit of food, and then more koi fish come. That's the way the subconscious thoughts are in the brain, and that's why the brain has a lot of clutter. My latest book, called Zeroing Out, helps you with this very problem. It is a result of a lot of hypnosis. It's a result of 33 years of helping people get to a quiet place. What I've done is I've allowed a bunch of different kinds of brain work, physical thought work, relaxation processes, and I've added them together, and it's called Zeroing Out. It's about a 3 or a 4 minute process, and when you do it, you can get your brain decluttered immediately. You don't need a hypnotist there to do it. Hypnosis is great. Trust me, I've been doing it for 33 years. I think it's one of the most healing things one can do for himself or herself. But if you can't do that, get the audiobook, or get the book Zeroing Out, or get it on Kindle and allow Kindle to read it to you. I don't really care. But get the information. You need it to be able to make shifts and changes in your lives that will allow you to be empowered and spiritually connected. Have a beautiful day. With the brain, with the mind, with a dream. And you need to have your brain clear for that dream to express itself.
Can get really busy taking care of my home, 2 careers, and my family, when your mind can't seem to get quiet to rest. That's when you need to use zeroing out.
I never thought I could quiet my mind in only 3 minutes. Zeroing out works.
I can't believe how much zeroing out has helped me reduce stress. You've got to try it.
Work for me can get time-consuming and stressful at times, but zeroing out has really changed the way I look at my schedule and my time.
Such a step above any other book I've ever seen about this topic, and it's such a simple technique, and I'm able to do it by myself, which I love. So.